Welcome everybody to the misadventures of the misled bard, Edward. So let's load up his chapter. There it is. So once you load up his chapter, you'll end up outside the oasis town of Kaipo. We'll just head up here. There's the little bunny-eared, thank you, guy himself. Go, challenge way. Yes, we would like to do our challenge dungeon, thank you. So let's do it. So first off, if you're not ready, you have to exit now, otherwise you'd have to go through the whole dungeon, so step on the teleport and exit if you're not ready. You shouldn't be too bad, the dungeon's one of the easier dungeons. So let's find out what it's all about. So it's a cash and carry dungeon, which means you're required to get as much gil as you can before... well, not before, but you have to get as much gil as you can to get, by the time you get to the end of the dungeon. And with this gil, you will open chests. However, as she says right here, any gil you earn or special items you get in this dungeon will disappear when you exit. So regardless of how, you will return back to the amount of money you had before entering. So if you had 2,000 before entering and you get to say 200,000 by the end, if you do not spend it before exiting on the chest at the end, you will get 2,000 back, whatever you went in with. So let's start off by going down to the top left here to fight a boss. The Steel Golem. There are 4 of these bosses, and they usually net a good amount, about 9,000 gil. I don't know the exact numbers. The gil amount generally varies on some of this stuff, but we'll see later. There's different ways to gain gil. These are the most effective ways. Don't bother battling a ton of enemies because you will not get a lot of gil. And the enemy encounters in this dungeon are actually quite sparse compared to some of the other challenge dungeons. So we're going to fight our first boss, the Stone Golem here, to get some money. What else? There's other ways to get, such as lending people money, getting specific items for some people, searching for it in chocobos, different ways to get money. You'll also have to spend some money as well throughout the dungeon. So there we beat him. Got about 9,000 gil. The other thing is Red Fang. Item placement is completely random in this. So you notice I got a Red Fang there? If I came in the dungeon again, I won't necessarily get a Red Fang there again. I got a Blue Fang there. Some chests, even locked chests, like not locked, but chests that haven't been opened yet, may contain nothing. Let's head south here. Even chests that are open may contain something. Desk drawers, pots, gold needle, anything. I don't have enough. So here's an old man who will ask for about 10,000 gil. See, that chest was empty. Potion. Don't have much. So check everything. Suits of armor, clocks, tables. Talk to this guy. We got a bandit. Bandits are kind of random. They show up once in a while, and they'll either retreat or give some money. Hopefully they won't retreat. So yeah, item placement in this dungeon is completely random. He retreated. Freaking bastard. High potion. Set up here for a sec. Head down. Potion, potion, remedy. Ooh, that's good. So you notice that chest wasn't open, empty, that chest had nothing. Like, all this is random. It's not going to be there for you if you play it like you... This is why I'm not really concerned about telling you the items, because they're always different and there's not always something in there. Let's go back down, because I think we have, yeah. So you have 10,000 gil. We can come talk to the old man here and we can lend him some money. Be careful though. You might get, it'll be random. You'll be able to get like, he might give you back 10,000 No, sorry, he might give you back like 15, 20, or 25,000, or he can give you back nothing, claiming he never got anything from you because he's a bastard. Let's head up to the top floor, ignoring those doors for now. And head over here. Head into this door here. There's another bandit. Check the tables. Table and clock. The other thing is just because you check something doesn't necessarily mean it won't be there later. Like, you can spend hours in this dungeon going over, checking the same pots over and over and over again, and you will always find something new in them. Or at least that's what I've noticed. So, yeah, it's a completely random where you find stuff and treasure in this. So why are we trying to gather money? At the end of the dungeon, like she said, there will be 5 chests, each incrementing in 10,000 points of 10,000 gil each. So like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 gil. And you spend that much. If you want to open the chest, you have to spend the increment of money that the chest is asking for. 45. I think those give about 3,000 to 4,500. If you spend the increment on the chest, it will give you an item. The more money you spend, the larger, the better chance of a better item you get. Let's talk to her now. So if you spend 10,000, you'll probably get like an Arctic win. Sure. Okay. So she might give you, I think, about 8, 10, and 12,000 or 15,000, I forget. Now remember I said that money will disappear when you leave, except for what you come back with? This is one way you can keep the money. What you do is you buy as many remedies as you can, making sure that you don't spend more than what you had coming in. So if you had 5,000 coming in, make sure you only spend up to 5,000 gil, that 5,000 remains in your account. Otherwise, you'll have 0 coming out. Like, you'll return to normal if you have over the amount you came in. Otherwise, if you spend the amount, if you have less than what you had when you came in, Big, keep track of it, you'll actually come out with the lesser amount. Always an echo herb in those plants. There's usually something in here. So I know this can be kind of confusing. It's just trying to get as much money as you can. The higher amount you spend on opening the chest at the end, the more likely it will be a better item. So that's it for here. So let's head to the bottom here. Well, that's it for around there. So here are some elevators. These are kind of annoying because unlike real elevators, they stop on certain floors and you can't use them unless you're on that floor. Also, they charge you 1,000 gil per use. I don't have enough money for it. That's insane. Alright, well let's head up here for now. How much money do I have? Not a lot. I don't want to go in there just yet. We'll head back out this way. I should have gone this way in the first place. Sorry about that. Hopefully I can gain a bit more gil before. So remember, if you see that adamantine, remember where the old man was? The adamantine pig can show up there as well. He shows up randomly in areas. Just kind of keep track of it. Here's a stairwell that gets up to the top floor. Yes. These guys will charge you money when you talk to them. You have no choice. They'll just take it. And then they'll disappear. And they can take about 300, I think 1,000, and then 10,000 is the worst. Here is the second boss, the Flame Hound. So yeah, that's a nasty one that you can get hit with if you're unlucky enough and you choose the wrong one of the 3. If you do not choose wisely, you will lose a lot of gil. And to be honest, well, I think you get some gil for fighting this guy, don't you? Can't remember offhand. None of the enemies here are scary, so you should be okay. I mean, to be honest, you should be able to, if you want to quickly level up, and kill off all the guards, because they reach their max level at 20. Just kill off all the guards and just use Harley and Edward, because to be honest, they're more than a match for the enemies here. I mean, I know that's kind of ironic, but it's true. And with a chance of, you know, spending money to buy potions and stuff like that, it's not too bad. 6,000 gil. Another thing about this guy is he'll drop the Bard's Lyre. Lyre? I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyways, he will always drop that item every time. That's probably the only enemy that's consistent in this entire level. He'll always drop the Bard's Lyre. Here's a little chocobo room. You can talk to these guys and you might get 300 gil, 5,000 gil, or I think 10,000 gil. I forget. I think it's somewhere between 300 and a couple of thousand. But be warned, some of them can take away up to 13,000 gil, so I'm not going to attempt it. So that's completely up to you. Just randomly touch a chocobo and they might give you some gil. Let's go this way now. So remember, we got that Bard's Lyre? This lady here, yes I do, is interested in it. So you'll always get that item from that beast. And she'll give around, I think, between 45 to 5,500. Keep in mind, other people can buy the items. How much do I have? I got quite a bit. Let's go in here next. Other people can buy the items, but they won't spend very much on it. So these guys here, you have to sell them money and they'll disappear. And remember her? We gave her some money. She's gonna pay us back. Holy crap! We made 3 times the amount back. Here's the old man. You're an asshole. You are a freaking asshole. You took $10,000 from my gil. In there, 10,000 gil, sorry, and didn't give it back. Like I said, he can give 15, 20, or 25,000 back, or he can give you dick all. I think she always returns something, no matter what. I've never had her claim I never lent her anything. Up there might be the Adamantine pig. Keep that in mind. He might show up there, so it's another spot he can show up. So let's head over to the door here. We're gonna go up to the final floor here. We'll wait. I want to check something first. Okay. So like I said before, the elevators stop on certain floors. When you start the dungeon, the left one is always on the 2nd floor, and the right one is always on the 4th floor. You can get the 3rd floor without spending money if you... The 3rd floor is where you saw the Flamehound, so you don't have to spend money to go on that floor. But you do have to spend money to get up to the 4th floor. There's no other way up here. Let's head into here, and it's a restaurant. You can talk to people. They don't really say anything interesting. What's back here? Oh, okay. So let's talk to this lady here. Ah, so she's looking for an adamantine pig. So yeah, you have to come talk to her, and she'll say she's looking for an adamantine pig. So you have to either go into that lower basement where the old man was, where I gave the money, who cheat me out of it. Friggin' pissed off about that. Or in that area where you had to spend 500 gil to progress further and further in. Or where we saw him, which is on the 3rd floor hallway. Also, this guy here, Gilbert, he will randomly show up on the floors, usually in the these hallways where the elevators are, but he can show up in the west wings on the 1st floor there. Remember where I gave the Bard's Lyre to the lady there? The parts, the left to the right part that leads to where the Adamantine is. I'll show you when we get there. He can show up there, or he can show up in the final boss chamber. Doesn't really do anything. He doesn't run away. He's not as good as the Gilbert in Pelham's challenge dungeon. He doesn't drop a lot of gil or anything. Decent amount. But most importantly, what he drops is the Gilbert's egg. That is another item. He will always drop it as well, but like I said, he is always a fan. So let's take the elevator down to the... I might as well go to the 3rd floor. The pick up the Adamantine pig on our way there. Yeah, that chocobo one is really random, so that's your if you want. Yeah, I'll take you with me. So we got ourselves an Adamantine pig. Yeah, that chocobo one is just really random, so it's up to you if you want to take the risk. You can win big, but you can also lose big. Right here, this was the passageway I was talking about. The Gilbert can show up here or on the one on the other side. So we'll head down here. So I passed up these earlier. No, actually I want to go in the center one first, I believe. It's just a center hallway, nothing fascinating. But if you talk to this guy, he'll pay you the most for the Gilbert egg, which is right here. That's pretty good. Sometimes he won't give you much at all. What are we up to? Oh, 40. Not bad. If I didn't pay that guy the 10,000, I would have the 50. High potion. Keep checking all the items. Now there's two special items that will randomly show up in pots and chests throughout. I don't get them very often. Very rarely. One is the Poet's Notebook, which this guy is looking for, which I do not have on me. Like I said, it's a random, and I don't know, or I'm not going to spend like 10 hours looking for it in this dungeon. And the other special item that's looking for is the guy in here. Like I said, it can show up randomly in these pots. 500 gil, alright. And this guy is looking for the Whisperweed Seed. So another item you have to find in pots and whatnot. So the Whisperweed and the Poet's Notebook are random items you find in chests or pots or whatever. And the Gilbert Egg and the Bard's Lair you usually get from the Gilbert, which is wandering around the halls somewhere. Or the... I have to go down this way. Flamehound, where you get the Bard's Lyre, who is always on the 3rd floor in the West Wing. But you have to pay... Like, if you get the guy where you have to pay 10,000, you'll just, like, break even. Let's head up here. I have to go this way because there's no... If I go to the 2nd floor, there's no elevator waiting for me. See, it stopped on the 4th floor. Oh yeah, the Poet's Notebook? Yeah, let's go to the 4th floor. The Poet's Notebook and the Whisperweed Seed can usually be sold, I think, around for 300 to 5,000 gil. Down. So we'll talk to the lady again, give her the Adamantine pig. Old man comes out. Takes the pig into the back room. Okay, we get... I think you can get anywhere between 8 to 9,000 gold there. Or gil. What are you doing with that pig? Well, I want to know what you... There's only 2 things I can think of you're doing with that pig. And neither one of them is very pleasant. Well, anyways, if you go out and come back in, you'll find out that the pig is actually working for them. For like 300 gil an hour, right? Which I don't know the exchange rate. I think that might be good. Wait, did it? Oh, it's big. I thought I said he's a pig help. So in here is the final, well, not really a final boss. You can literally come here anytime you want. If you were just grinding and got some money, you could just go straight to the elevator in level 2. Go all the way up to the 4th floor. You don't even have to fight this guy. You can just walk around him, and that's how you can exit. So if you're not really ready and you're having a little trouble, which you probably shouldn't be, you can exit out of this dungeon right away, kind of like Porums. It all depends just on how much gil you have at the end to open the chest. Guy's not too hard, 75,000. So we have 50,000, so we can get the best item. So we'll head out. That's everything. So let's do a little recap. You have the first boss on the first floor, which will only give you about 9,000 gil. The second boss, the Flame Hound, which will give you the Bard's Lyre, who you can sell to the lady at the item shop just above the west wing for about 5,000 gil. The third boss is the Gilbird, who shows up randomly in the chamber we just passed. The hallways where the elevators are, or somewhere in the west or east passages. And he'll drop the Gilbert egg, who you can sell to the man in the middle passage in the lobby for about 5,000 gil. The Whisperweed Seed and the Poet's Notebook are randomly found. The Poet's Notebook goes to the man on the west door, the leftmost door in the lobby, for about 305,000. And the Whisperweed goes to the guy in the right door in the lower lobby for about 305,000. The fourth floor restaurant, you have to talk to the lady at the counter to be able to go grab the Adamantine pig, who can show up anywhere in the room where you have to pay 500 gil to pass progressively up. In the lower basement area, where the old man who takes your money is, or in the hallway leading to the third floor where we found him. And she will pay about 8 to 9,000 gil. The next are the two people who you can lend money to. I believe the woman, you always lend 5,000. She'll give anywhere between 10 to 20,000, 1,500, I think. I'm not sure. But I think she always returns the investment at least. I think it's anywhere between 5, 10, or 15,000. The old man in the bottom, he will return 10. I think he'll return 15 to 25,000, or maybe it's 10 to 20,000. But he also has a chance of just pocketing your money and saying "screw you" like he did to me. And usually you can find him either in the left or right passages in the lobby area. You can find him or the woman, or if you go to the area where you have to pay 500 gil to progress further. Where you fight the Flame Hound, you have to spend 300,000 or 10,000 gil to get past him. It's random which one's which, so watch yourselves. But I think that's all the areas. So let's open the chest. We'll see here, there's 5 chests. No. No, you can open as much as you want. No, 3,000. Just as long as you have the money. 4,000. We got the 5,000. 5,000 is the best chests. Got a circular hat. Okay, that's pretty good. Previously, I got stuff like the Muse Harp, which does excellent damage to undead enemies. And I think that's about... Oh, an Exorcist Gown 2, which is pretty good, I think. That's not bad. So I have 6,000. Can't open any of that. So we'll exit out the challenge dungeon? Yes. How much gil do I have? 89. So it took that 6,000 gil. Now if I was smart, I would have went back, bought a remedy, and then sold it, and I would have made 2,500 gil. So remember, if you want to keep the money, since you're going to lose it anyways, spend it on remedies. Just don't buy over what you had when you came in. So hopefully that's been a big help. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye now.